Okay, so I'm going to do another Irelia commentary, just because this is a ranked game, 1700s, and Rumble is a pretty... People struggle with Rumble and lane, so I figured I'd make a little video covering my most recent lane with Irelia. I wait around at shop. I'm like not exactly sure what to buy, but I end up going boots and 3 pots. I wanted to start with flask and a couple pots and a ward, but I'm purple side, so that means Lee Sin is most likely not going to level 2 gank from blue. He's probably going to start red. We've got a jungle Nautilus, so he's going to be really weak early, but his presence mid-late is going to be really good. I was heading bot originally, but I just decided to go to this bush and check if they're going to invade red. This is the best spot to check for red because you get vision of red buff and you get vision of the top part. The only other way they can come up behind you is if they go through the tri-bush entry. Now I know I didn't cover this little part, this little skirmish down here. All that basically happened was Zyra was AFK in that tri-bush and they took advantage of it and killed her. She didn't waste flash. She didn't waste anything. Like I'm not gonna say there was no point. I don't know if she would have gotten away or not, but the fact of the matter is she died. Alright, I wait until minions spawn and recall, but I really should have gone at like 125 because now when I get there, I'm gonna have to wait a few extra seconds when I shouldn't have. You want to recall at about 125, so as you're walking away, you hit 35 gold and you can buy on the go. Okay, so I've now got boots and 4 pots. Ezreal's got first blood, so bot lane should be pretty easy for him. Ahri versus Karthus is an easy matchup for Ahri. Karthus, all he has to do is farm, but Ahri has the potential to roam and beat him in 1v1s. It's especially important to remember that they have a Karthus because Irelia and Rumble can be an even lane, and having Karthus can make all the difference. So I pick up my E level 1, which I really like doing, just because I know Rumble took his E, so I can abuse this fact. I can stun him. As long as he uses his E first and misses, I have free harass on him level 1. Now, I'm not necessarily... Yeah, right here. E him, get a few autos, and go back, because I don't want to take any more minion aggro than I have to. I also don't want to take free harass once he hits level 2 and picks up his Q, which I'm assuming he's going to pick up. Notice how cautious I am around these minions. I don't want to take any harass. I don't want to be ganked early in case Lee Sin did start blue. I'm okay missing 1 or 2 CS. I just don't want to lose more health than I have to, you know? Nautilus comes in for an early gank. I pick up my W. Now, I don't blow any summoners here. He's dead. He's so dead. There's no point blowing Flash. There's no point blowing Ignite. Even Rumble knew this. So now when Rumble comes back in lane, we're both still going to have our summoners, so that's an important thing to remember. I also didn't get the first blood. Nautilus did, which in some ways is pretty good. Because Nautilus has a shitty early game, so having him pick up items early is really good for our team. Now I'm going to stay in lane. I'm not recalling. I'm not picking up any items. I'm going to pick up some experience and some gold from these creeps to get a bigger advantage on Rumble. Rumble should be only about level 2 when he comes back in lane, meaning that I can pretty much have my way with him, assuming this resets. The main thing I was doing here is I wanted this wave to reset at tower, but it doesn't look like I did a good job, so he's going to end up getting the majority of these creeps. Now, Lee Sin, I assume, is by their red buff, so I'm not overly worried about extending this far. I am taking a lot of harass, but that's perfectly fine. He's only got, what, 2 points in his Q, which isn't really bad. Now, I was certain that Lee Sin was by their red, but I'm not so sure anymore because Nautilus has been there a while, so I'm going to just stay here to give myself vision. Rumble might be calling for a gank, so you never know. I'm going to walk to the back part of this brush in case he decides to E in there. It doesn't look like he's going to. So I'm going to wait for that minion to get low, Q to it, and then Q to him. Actually, I didn't Q to him. I just walked up and stunned him. That was actually a very bad trade on my part because I ended up on the bad side of that one. Rumble's now caught up in experience, and I believe he's around even in CS with me, even though he gave up first blood. The wave is pushing really hard. I got to kind of thin it out a little bit, but at the same time, you know, he's got all this harass and poke and stuff, and I don't want to get... The main thing with laning against Rumble is you don't want to get poked down and poked down and poked down. He's really strong against melee, but after a few levels, he's like god tier for like harass. I try to get as much CS as possible here. Hitting under tower with Irelia is very easy. Now, I don't know where Rumble is again. He's missing. I tell my team he's missing. I'm going to pick up some CS here quickly. Get this one and the one right there. Right now, I'm at 30-ish CS by 6 minutes, which is decent. Rumble's missing out on this experience and these creeps. Now I've hit 6 and he's still level 5, so I've still got an advantage on him. Even though I haven't recalled, he might have items on me, but I've got the levels on him. So if I force the skirmish like this, I have the definite advantage. See? Free poke. Now, I really have to be more careful with my mana costs now because now he's 6. He can really, really deal some damage if I don't have any of my skills up. So I decide, you know what, I'm just going to push my lane with my ultimate and recall. It's going to reset, so by the time I get back, the wave should be at my tower. Again, I've not been doing the best job resetting the wave because the goal is to get the wave at his tower and have the majority of them get hit by the tower. But he's like pseudo-freezing so that he gets some of it. Now against Rumble as Irelia, you want to get recurve bow as soon as possible. You might think, hey, why don't I get Merc Treads? Hey, why don't I get Phage? No, get your recurve bow. Because Irelia, with any attack speed early against Rumble, you just pound on the true damage. Just pound it on, and you get the sustain from it. Also, since I have my Null Magic Mantle, that's about the only magic resist I need for early game. Rumble pushes it to tower. I'm assuming he wants to recall. Either way, no, he stays in lane. So I gotta be a little bit careful because he can still poke me with E, like right there. I think I get every single creep in this wave. Don't be afraid to pop your W to last hit, because your W for last hitting under tower is really, really good. I don't know where Lee Sin is, and I haven't put my ward down, but I'm in no rush to run up to him and harass, because Rumble again. The key for Rumble, beating Rumble in lane, be very, very easy on the harass. Right here, I actually went real hard because I knew I could do it with very little retaliation. I don't believe he used his E, but I'm not going to rewind it anyway. I E'd him, I started landing the true damage, and I ulted. Notice that I wanted to ult away from his creeps. I don't want to push it. I want the wave to come to me. While I'm not freezing, but I really want to get as many creeps as possible while trying to force him out because Rumble has no innate sustain. He has to buy a lot of sustain. While me, on the other hand, I have a ton of sustain. Okay. At this point in time, I'm going to stay in lane. I've made the commitment. I pop my pot, and I'm going to drop a ward here for Lee Sin. I probably should have dropped it near Tribush, but it doesn't matter overly much because I don't think Lee Sin is going to come top. He's more focused on mid lane because so is Nautilus. Picking up some more creeps here. Nautilus is coming for a bush gank. I don't remember if I told him where the ward was. I think I told him it was in River, but it might actually be in Tribush, judging by the way Rumble's playing. Here's where you can read body language. If you look at Rumble, Rumble's pacing back and forth when the whole time he was up in my face. He knows something's up. I'm pretty sure he had a ward in Tribush, and he knows Nautilus is there. So there's no point for him, to even risk coming close. Nautilus is 6 and he has his ulti, and Rumble knows that. I'm going to push the tower, and I believe I pop my ultimate here to clear the wave. Apparently not. Well, I guess I just keep CSing here. Wait for a little bit. Again, I don't want to take too much harass, but I really do want to poke him. That 1R that I missed was smart casting being derp. Rumble has no sustain again. He's going to have to chug pots if he wants to stay in lane. I want to give him the impression that I'm staying in lane so that he does chug his pots. Now that I know he's chugging his pots, I'm going to stay in lane a little bit longer, but I want to push this out. I want him to think I'm staying in here for the long term so that he heals up all the way thinking that we're going to have a fight. I clear these creeps out. Looking at his items, he's got a Cage's Lucky Pick, and he's got a little bit of MR. There's nothing I can do to force this wave to his tower, short of just, auto-attacking it, but he's going to end up getting the majority of the creeps, so, I'm not very good myself at denying creeps at tower. So I'm just going to push this out a little bit. I was actually clicking the go towards mid lane, but it doesn't work. Here is a very important skirmish. I have to flash out of Rumble ulti and do as much damage as I can in a short amount of time. Now, I wasn't paying attention at first because I was actually looking at the mini-map, but Rumble ends up going on me, so I have to stun him and auto attack, and then as soon as he drops his ulti, I have to flash. If there was any way for me to kill him, I had to ignite him and get as many auto attacks as possible. If I had tried to walk out of his ult, or if I tried to flash escape or anything like that, I would have died, guaranteed. But I had to make sure that I got outside of his ulti via flash, or else he would kill me for free. There was no way in that situation that I would come out alive, and I'm pretty sure Karthus ulted, which is why he was kind of pissed. I look at bot lane. Bot lane is destroying them. Misfortune's only at around 50 CS. Ezreal's like 90, but Ezreal's also got 4 kills, so yeah. I finish up my Wit's End, and I pick up a Ruby Crystal. I'm going to turn this Ruby Crystal into a Phage later on, because Phage, Wit's End, is like anti-Rumble items. I'm at 90 CS by 12 minutes. That's actually a really good mark. I don't know where Rumble is, so I call in chat, Rumble's missing, and he shows up. I never call when they show up. I call when they miss, because that's when people whine. I start harassing Rumble, boom, R, boom, 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 boom. He flashes. There's no point chasing, so I walk back. I missed a few CS, but either he's going to chug his pots, or he's going to recall. It looks like he's going to chug his pots, try to last it out. He has Revolver, and he's using this to pick up some quick HP from his ulti, but I'm guessing he'd think that would force me back, so I just end up pushing the wave a little bit more. And I'm going to drop my ward because I know I'm committing to this lane. I'm not recalling. Important thing, if you're not going to stay in lane, don't drop your wards. Also, if you're not going to stay in lane, don't pop your health pots. They're consumables, and what is the point of using either one of them if you're not going to use them in lane? Why am I going to pop a health pot and recall? Why am I going to pop a ward and then recall? Am I going to get ganked while I'm at base? No. I don't need a vision of that. So, Rumble's still in lane, and I know now that he has Hextech Revolver, he does have a bit of sustain. He can trade a bit more evenly with me, too. There's some plays going down bot lane. I'm not overly worried. The kill score is 10-1. I know it seems like a stomp, but I'm more focused right now on the lane play between me and Rumble. Again, I want to be careful with his harass and go in once his harass is down, because he can't do anything. His Q's down, and his W and E were all he had up. I waited for the Q to go off. See, wait for the harass. Wait. I believe I'm going to dive him right here. I want to E him, and I want to get some auto attacks off, but I'm not going to be able to because he's just going to walk back into tower, and I'd probably get, at the most, 2 hits. I pick up some CS here. He's going to have to come up and get these 2 range creeps. Watch. So I'm going to get in front of these creeps and tank the E's so that he doesn't get them. So I'm essentially denying him. Here's where I go all in on him. I can't dodge this ulti this time, so I drop as much as I can. Always, don't use Q. Don't auto attack, wait, and then use Q. Your Q, think of it as an auto attack reset. You have to use it either as soon as you finish an auto attack. If you're trying to get in range, you got to be you have to understand how the Q works, I guess. I didn't just randomly throw out my Q. I had the auto attack Q right after to get as much damage as possible. But again, since I didn't have any flash to get out of his ulti, I was pretty much guaranteed dead. I did use Ignite, and he did use Ignite. And I don't believe he had flash up either. Now, I'm telling my team I'm going bot. I'm going with the intention of doing Dragon. But they get into a little skirmish here, so I start rerouting my course going to mid lane instead of to Dragon. Ezreal gets in a really, really tight spot, and I'm going to walk towards where Nautilus's position is, and I'm thinking I'm going to jump to Lee. But Lee's low, so I jump on the next target I can. I jump on Zyra. I actually miss the majority of my ulti on her. Right now there's nobody I can jump to. I get hit by the first E. I stop, and I move slightly to the side to dodge the second one. My creeps are pushing the Rumble's tower. I'm assuming that's where he's going to head right now, so I'm just going to push this out. If nobody shows up, I'm going to end up hitting the tower, but Misfortune shows up. Now right here, I could care less if I'm getting auto attacked by Misfortune, because that means the tower's denying some creeps. Now I'm not recalling. I still got pots. Chug your pots. And I'm walking towards top lane. Nautilus pings, but I don't really want to waste any mana, so I'm just gonna use my W to auto attack this to death. Pick up some quick health before I go to lane. I tell him thank you. Misfortune and somebody else are near their red buff, so I'm not worried about 3-man ganks or anything like that. Now if Rumble shows up, I can kill him guaranteed one-on-one. GG no re. I've got my Phage and I've got my Wit's End. So not only can I slow him with red buff, I can slow him with Phage. I've got health to tank him, and I've got the magic resist to outlast his damage. There's nothing Rumble can do to stop me. So I auto attack R. I go all in on Rumble right here. Actually, wait, no, I don't go in. I wait for my W to come up, then I go all in. Stun is up. W, 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 flash, and Q into him. See right there? If I would have used my Q earlier to trade with him, I wouldn't have been able to catch him. My team positions for Dragon, so I decide to draw some aggro by farming the creeps right in front of tower range. And they get it for free. If anybody had come up here, then that would have been fine for my team, but bad for me. But I don't really care because I'm making a sacrifice. Although nothing happened because Lee Sin just decided to stay mid lane. So I'm going to push the hell out of this tower. Rumble is probably, he's still dead for another 5 seconds. Push his tower, and I know this creep back here is about to die, so I walk back not to take any tower shots. Pop my ulti again. Auto, ulti. And I'm going to hit the tower. I'm going to make sure it dies. I don't want to risk Rumble ulting or anything like that to clear the wave before the tower dies. So now I'm going to recall. I see Rumble has come into lane. I'll pick up a Sheen, and I'm going to pick up a little bit more magic resist. Rumble, all he's picked up since is Merc Treads. I'm going to pick up another Null Magic and 2 wards. The wards are more important than the pots at this point because I can heal pretty well off of the creeps. Every other lane is winning, and I know it doesn't really seem like a good example for a game, but I'm more focused on the laning, which is where 90% of shit happens. Because if this Rumble had gotten fed, this game would have been maybe completely different. I'm coming mid lane because I've got my tower. I'm already ahead in CS. I'm ahead in kills. All I'm here to do is take towers. That's all I'm in mid lane for. Karthus ultis, nobody dies. So boom, we start pushing this. I'm going to check up top. Rumble is probably going to get my tower, so I commit to this push, and we're going to just keep on going. We're going to chug through this. I don't care if I take tower shots, we're taking this, because Rumble's guaranteed to take my tower, so I'm taking 2. Picking up some health from my W. It's important to note that Irelia's W gives you health when you hit towers. It's not lifesteal, it's on hit healing. Now I don't know where Rumble is, so I'm going to drop a ward before I face check that. I check for blue, there's no blue, and I recall. There's no need to ward Baron, their team is sufficiently far enough behind. I don't know what the hell Ezreal was doing, but he's in a pretty shitty spot, and he dies. Rumble just got a kill. I pick up Merc Treads, and I buy health pots. Now I have room for health pots and wards. Consumables, best friend. I want to go and I want to push top lane now. We've got all of their outer towers, and including their middle inner. Rumble has a needlessly large rod, but I also picked up, my Merc Treads and my Wit's End, so if Rumble does try to all in me, I can out DPS him, and I have the sustain to out sustain him as well. I want to come up behind him and kill him. I know exactly where he's going. I don't want to show up behind his creeps, so I'm going to wait for him to show up. If he's anywhere near the wall, I'm going to Q. Okay, I Q, I slow, I start auto-attacking, I ulti, and I ignited him, but it was a waste of an ignite. He didn't die. He would have actually probably left the lane without the ignite, but that's irrelevant now. I now have free control to push his tower. I've got that ward giving me vision, and Nautilus is here on the side. If Nautilus had showed at tower, they would have probably sent somebody else to help stop me. But Nautilus is just going to be really patient. He's waiting for Rumble to get back in lane. So I'm going to continue to clear these creeps out and then start auto-attacking the tower. Nautilus is about to leave, but then Rumble shows up, so he starts walking back. I know that, so I give Rumble the... slap him with the stun and start auto-attacking. I pop my health pot, and I start walking away. Just in time. I was waiting for Karthus ulti. If Karthus ultied, I would have started auto-attacking creeps immediately, but he didn't, so there's no rush. So, I make sure to get some CS as I'm attacking this tower. I Q back to the creep behind me. I could have Q'd back if necessary, but instead I'm going to be content just ulting and forcing him back. I don't want to get into a fight where he's going to wipe out, 800 of my health and I'm going to die to his ulti. It's not worth it at this point. I'm picking up this big wolf. I don't know what Ari's doing. She got into a little skirmish with Zyra and ended up not killing her, but whatever. I was initially coming mid, but then I saw that my wave up top was building, so I'm just going to head back top. I'm at 164 creeps by 22 minutes. It's fine. I refresh my ward there, and I'm going to continue pushing. There's a little skirmish going down bot. Rumble picks up another kill on Ezreal. It's at the point where Rumble knows he can't fight me anymore. Just like I've been saying, Rumble can't kill me now. Like at best, he's going to kill me and I'm going to kill him. That's his best possible scenario. My best possible scenario is I'm going to kill him and get away, just like I did earlier. And that's game. You guys can see the end game score. I didn't roam much because there wasn't a need to. And yeah, Rumble was really the only one that had to roam, so I won my lane. I helped push towers. I didn't really get involved in too many skirmishes. My team was doing the skirmishing. Basically, Rumble was in shithole. And yeah, thanks for watching.